In 1922, 6 hens averaged 309 eggs each in a single year. One bird, a black hen from Australia, laid 364 eggs in 365 days. She took one day off. That's it. No lights, no hormones, no heat lamp. And in over 100 years of industrial poultry breeding, nothing built since has beaten her. You need to hear this. 6 hens, 309 eggs each. One bird hit 364 in 365 days. And your feed store has never once mentioned her name. That is not an accident. That is a business decision. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which bird I am talking about, why she keeps laying when the thermometer reads single digits, how to spot a fake, because most of what is being sold under her name right now is not the real bird, and how 6 of these hens on one small patch of your property can cover an entire family's eggs for the year, with surplus left to sell, trade, or give away. Stay with me, because the math at the end of this is going to change how you think about your property. Right now, here's a reality for most backyard chicken keepers. You bought hybrid layers from a feed store. They laid hard for 18 months. Then they crashed. Production fell off a cliff. Birds started dying early, and you walked right back into the same store to buy more. That is not a flock. That is a subscription. Then winter hit, daylight dropped, your hens stopped laying, and grocery eggs spiked to $7, $8, sometimes $10 a dozen. So you ran a heat lamp in the coop, watch your power bill climb, and pray it would not burn the place down. And plenty of barns have burned for exactly that reason. The average family of 4 eats around 75 eggs a month. At $5 a dozen, that is $375 a year, flowing straight back to the supply chain you were trying to escape. Here is what I need you to hear clearly. This is not your fault. You bought what the feed store sold you, because that is what was sitting in the bin with a cheerful sign on it. And the industry that put it there spent 80 years quietly reshaping what a backyard chicken even is. After World War II, commercial agriculture did not want a hen that lived 10 years and hatched her own chicks. They wanted a bird that produced hard for 18 months and burn out, so you would come back and buy another. That is the model you inherited. That is the trap. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it, which is exactly why the original bird was buried. I am about to show you what they buried, and why it still outperforms anything sitting in a hatchery catalog today. If you're tired of that cycle and you want to build something that actually lasts, hit subscribe and tap the bell right now. The next few videos in this series go deep on everything I am covering today, and you do not want to miss them. The bird is the black Australorp, Australian Orpington, and her story is the one the hatchery catalogs never tell. In the early 1900s, Australian farmers crossed black Orpingtons out of England with Rhode Island Reds, Minorcas, White Leghorns, and Langshans. They were not chasing show ribbons or pretty feathers. They were chasing one number, eggs per hen per year, and they culled relentlessly for decades to get it. In 1922, at an Australian agricultural testing station, 6 of their hens averaged 309.5 eggs each over 12 straight months. One hen hit 364 in 365 days. Read that again. She took one day off in an entire year. And in over a century since, with billions poured into genetic engineering, light manipulation, and proprietary hybrid programs, no naturally raised heritage breed has. Match those numbers without artificial lighting or hormones. Not one. That record was set by a working bird on a working farm eating what was in front of her. A healthy Australorp flock today in a decent setup lays between 250 and 300 eggs a year per bird. 6 hens, that is 1,500 to 1,800 eggs annually. 150 egg a month. Your family of 4 needs 75. The other 75 have nowhere to go but your neighbors, your local market, or your trade network. But none of those numbers happen if you bring home the wrong bird. And the wrong bird is exactly what most people are getting sold. I will show you how to spot the fake in a moment. But first let me tell you why she keeps laying when nothing else will. Look at what a real black Australorp actually is. She is a tank. Hens run 6 to 8 pounds, roosters 8 to 10, with a deep broad chest and a heavy round body. That mass alone is a furnace. She generates her own heat the way a wood stove holds coals overnight. Slow, steady, from the inside. Then look at the feathering. Jet black, tight, and dense. In direct sunlight, it shimmers beetle green and purple. That sheen is not cosmetic. It is the structure of the feather itself, and it traps a layer of warm air against her skin like a down jacket someone actually engineered properly. Her single comb is medium-sized, not the oversized floppy sail you see on a leghorn, which means less surface area, less heat loss, and less to frostbite off in January. And then there is temperament. She does not panic. She does not burn calories crashing into coop walls every time you open the door. A calm bird is a thermally efficient bird. 100 years of Australian farmers selecting for hens that survive hard real-world conditions bake disease resistance and cold hardiness into her that modern hybrids simply do not carry. No heat lamp, no bonfire risk. Just biology doing the job it was bred to do. But biology alone will not save you if you bought a counterfeit. And most people buying Australopes right now are buying counterfeits. This kind of information does not show up in a feed store pamphlet. If this is new to you, you are in the right place. Subscribe to Livestock Lab so you do not miss what is coming next in this series. Most birds sold as black Australopes in this country are not black Australopes. Sometimes the seller knows. Often they do not. They bought mixed hatchery stock in good faith and are passing it on the same way. Either way, a mixed bird will not give you 250 to 300 eggs a year. She will give you 150 and quit by year 3, and you will blame yourself or blame the breed. So here's what a real one looks like. Feathers. Jet black with a beetle green shimmer in direct sunlight. Any brown, rust, white, or red anywhere on the body is a hard disqualifier. Full stop. Eyes. Dark brown, almost black. Legs. Dark slate gray to black. Smooth, 4 toes, no yellow. Lift a feather and the skin underneath should be white, not yellow. Comb, single, upright, red, not a rose comb, not a pea comb. And the temperament test most people skip entirely. Reach calmly into the coop. A real flock stays calm. If they explode like popcorn, you have got crossbreeds. I have put together a full 12-point fake spotter checklist with photo references for every red flag. That is inside the complete guide linked in the description. Print it and take it with you when you buy. Now the bigger question, where do the real birds even come from? 4 places. Only one of them is worth your money. The big commercial hatcheries are convenient and they ship chicks by mail, but their hatchery-grade Australopes typically lay 180 to 240 eggs a year. Decent. Not 250 to 300. Feed stores buy from those same hatcheries, and staff often cannot tell you the bloodline. Chicks get mixed up in the bins. Online marketplaces are the Wild West, where genuine breeders sit right next to people selling backyard mutts at purebred prices. And then there is Source 4, and this is where the real birds live. Small independent breeders who select for production every single generation, and whose birds will outlast a hatchery bird by 50 to 80 eggs a year. That gap is your family's egg budget for life. When you find one, here are the 6 questions every serious seller will answer without flinching, and every fake gets defensive about. Are these purebred or hatchery grade? What is your hen's average annual production? Have these chicks been vaccinated for Marex? Can I see the parent birds? How long have you bred this breed specifically? And do you cull for production? That last question is the one that separates a breeder from a hobbyist. The full seller vetting script and regional breeder directories are in the complete guide. $10. Link in the description. Now let us talk setup, because the bird alone is only half the equation. Quick pause here. If you're finding this useful, hit the like button right now. It helps this information reach the keepers who actually need it. And if you have not subscribed to Livestock Labs yet, do it now. There is a full winter production protocol coming in the next video that builds directly on everything we are covering today. For levers, pull all 4, and your hens lay through winter. Pull 3, and you get a slowdown. Pull 2, and you get the same disappointment everyone else gets. Lever 1 is light. A laying hen needs 14 to 16 hours of light per day. Not heat, light. Her brain reads day length and triggers the laying cycle. In December, you are getting 9 hours of daylight. A 25 to 40 watt LED on a timer that clicks on before sunrise will add 60 to 100 eggs per hen per year. Across 6 birds, that is 360 to 600 extra eggs. Lever 2 is ventilation, not heat. Moisture is a killer. Wet air in a sealed coop creates ammonia and frostbite. You want vents up high near the roofline, covered with hardware cloth. Open year-round. Fresh air at the top. No draft at roost level. The Australorp handles cold. She does not handle damp. Lever 3 is protein and calcium. Layer feed at 16 to 18% protein. Calcium at 3.5 to 4.5%. Oyster shell free choice in a separate bowl. If your numbers drop, bumping protein from 16 to 18 is usually the first fix that works. Lever 4 is stress. Overcrowding, predator pressure, flock disruption. They all suppress laying. A calm hen lays. A spooked hen does not. Pull all 4 levers. That is the whole game. Now here's what the industrial model quietly deleted from the conversation. 1 good rooster, 6 good hens. That is the entire foundation for a flock that replaces itself year after year, while you do almost nothing. Black Australorp hens go broody. A hen will sit on a clutch of fertilized eggs, hold them at 99.5 degrees with her own body, turn them, hatch them, and raise the chicks herself. No incubator, no heat lamp, no power bill. 21 days and you have got the next generation walking around the coop. Try getting that out of a commercial hybrid. She lost that instinct 2 generations ago. You do not need a rooster for eggs. Hens lay regardless. You only need one if you want to hatch your own chicks. And if your goal is never buying birds again, you do. 1 rooster per 8 to 10 hens. And here's the rule the old breeders follow without exception. Track your hens. The ones laying most are your breeders. The bottom performers do not contribute to the next generation. That discipline, culling for production, is exactly what produced the 364 egg record 100 years ago. After 1 full cycle, every bird in your coop was hatched on your property from your best layers. That is a part the industry does not want you to figure out. I did not start out a believer. My first flock was 8 red sex-link hybrids from the feed store, cheap, easy to find, and the bin sign said guaranteed layers. Year 1 was incredible. 580 eggs a month at peak. I thought I had cracked the code. Year 2, production halved. By month 18, I had 2 hens dead from reproductive failure, and the rest barely scratching out 3 egg a week between all of them. Winter hit and they stopped completely. I ran a heat lamp, watched my electric bill jump $40 a month, and got almost nothing back for it. That was the winter I nearly quit chickens. I had spent more on feed, replacement birds, and that lamp than I had ever spent on grocery eggs. Then an older breeder I bought hay from told me to drive 2 counties over and look at his birds. 6 black Australorp pullets, $40 each. Steep at the time. I bought them anyway, mostly out of spite. That first winter, 1 sheep led on a timer, 0 heat. I pulled 4 to 5 eggs a day from those 6 hens through January, through February, through the cold snap that knocked out my neighbor's whole flock for 10 weeks straight. That is when I became a convert. And that is when I understood what 100 years of real breeding actually looks like. Let me save you from the 4 mistakes that wreck most Australorp setups before the first egg ever shows up. Mistake 1, buying unsexed straight-run chicks to save a few dollars. Straight-run is roughly 50% roosters. You wanted 6 layers. You got 3 layers and 3 loud roosters you now have to rehome or process. Pay the extra $2 per chick for sex pullets every single time. Mistake 2, skipping the Marix vaccination. Marix is a herpes virus. Once it is on your property, it never leaves and it kills young birds. The vaccine is 95% effective, but only works if given on the day of hatch. Ask your breeder or hatchery. If they cannot give you a straight answer, walk. Mistake 3, chicken wire on the run instead of half-inch hardware cloth. Chicken wire keeps chickens in. It does not keep raccoons out. A raccoon can tear through it in under a minute. You will lose a whole flock in one night. I learned this the expensive way. Mistake 4, running a heat lamp anyway, just in case. You do not need heat for this breed, and barn fires from tip lamps kill more birds every winter than the cold ever does. Ventilation, yes. Dry bedding, yes. Heat lamp, no. She was built for this. Picture your property 18 months from now. It is February. There is frost on the run and the rest of your road is paying $10 a dozen and waiting on a supply chain they have zero control over. You are not. You walk out to your coop in the gray light before wake, breath fogging, and you lift the nesting box lid to 5 warm brown eggs from yesterday afternoon. Your hens are calm at your feet. The black on their backs catches a low winter sun and flashes green. No heat lamp humming. No power bill anxiety. Just 6 big, quiet birds doing the job they were bred for 100 years ago. Spring comes, and one of them goes broody on her own. 21 days later, you have got 8 chicks under a hen. Chicks you did not buy, did not drive for, did not pay shipping on. Your replacement flock just hatched itself. The next supply chain headline does not touch you. The next egg price spike does not touch you. You are out. Drop a comment right now and tell me, what is the lowest temperature your flock has ever laid through? I want to know where the Australorp keepers are watching from, and what your worst winter looked like. I read every single one, and I reply to as many as I can. If you want everything I walked through today in one place, the 12-point fake spotter checklist, the full seller question script, the regional breeder directories, the feeding and incubation cheat sheet, it is all in a complete black Australorp guide. $10. Link in the description. One decision. The next video breaks down the exact supplemental light protocol that adds 60 to 100 winter eggs per hen, the wattage, the timer schedule, and the mistake that burns birds out before spring. That one is going to be important. You do not want to miss it. And listen, if you are not subscribed to Livestock Labs right now, you are already behind. Every week, this channel puts out information that independent breeders and old-school farmers spend decades figuring out, delivered straight to your screen for free before the next price spike hits and everyone else scrambles to catch up. The keepers who subscribed months ago are already setting up their first Australorp flocks. They're already pulling winter eggs while their neighbors are paying grocery store prices. You found this video for a reason. Hit subscribe. Hit like. Turn on the bell. Because the growers who move first are the ones who never go back. Livestock Labs, your backyard is enough. Your flock is closer than you think.